Yes, guys and girls, welcome to another episode with myself, Luke, so also known as LL Crypto, and my good friend Edo.
Also known as KDevCAD.
Excellent. So we're back with episode 3, I believe. And in today's episode, we're going to talk about the centralized and also decentralized finance, the differences between them. So we're going to look at the history of centralized finance and what decentralized finance has been doing over the past decade and what it can mean for the future of finance. So we're going to compare and contrast both of them. So we're excited to be back with
Always, yeah.
with another episode. So just make sure to subscribe to our channels. We'll leave the description, the channel links in the description below, and leave a thumbs up or a thumbs down. It's all good for the algorithm. And make sure to hit that bell notification as well so that you can keep up to date with each and every video on our channels and also this podcast. So anyway, how are you doing today?
Now I feel great again to be back for another episode here on this channel. It's always exciting to talk about these topics, and then I'm sure that people that are also watching those videos, they're also as excited as we are. Again, we are here for another video, and then we look forward to have a very great time here on this talking about centralized and decentralized finance and how also it relates to crypto.
Excellent. So the last 2 podcasts were about what crypto is. We spoke at length about Bitcoin and Ethereum. We spoke a little bit about the altcoins, not too much, but it's something that I think we'll bring out in a later podcast, a later episode on YouTube, for those that are interested in the altcoins, because altcoin season is, I think, approaching quite fast, so that might be interesting to look at in another podcast. So so today we're going to talk about centralization, decentralization. So, Edo, what is centralization for you?
Yeah, the idea of centralization, it has to its core the idea of an authority or someone that is regulating the finance. So if you think about centralized finance, then there needs to be a centralized authority, and then this authority will have the responsibility to make sure that everything is done according to the rule that this authority has specified. And okay, those authority generally they are related to government institutions, and then those ones they make sure that the market also goes smoothly, because also it's also in the best of their interest to make sure that the market goes smoothly. And then this central authority, it also has services, but also it has some fees as well. So this is for me what I think about centralization. Right, when there is a centralized finance, there is an authority in the middle of it, making sure that everything goes well. And if things don't go according to the rule, but then they just adjust and making other rules. But no, because humans are maybe at the core of decentralized finance, maybe things could be a little bit slower or faster, depending on how fast those actors are to intervene when things are not going according to the rules that are specified. So we are thinking about centralized institutions. So we have banks. We also have trading systems. So all those things they make the core of what I think is centralized finance.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. I mean, take like you just said, the banking system or banks. I mean, how long has banks existed for? I mean, I was doing some research and some say, oh, it was the first bank in Europe was in Italy in 1474 or something like that. And then others say it was back in Mesopotamia, 2000 BC. So, yeah, the banks have always been a part of human society.
Yeah.
So the banking system, this centralized system, is basically a third party. If we've got money, then obviously we have that third party, we have that middleman, so to speak, that looks after our money or whatever, like you said, the like the stocks and but yeah, for the government, it's the best. They try to look out for the best interests with the banking system, and we trust. People trust they put their trust in it.
Because if it does crash, it also has a direct consequence also on the whole country or even the whole system. So that's why government institutions, they make sure that this banking system, it does go according to rules or laws that they have tried to specify.
And so, as humans, we've always been used to a banking system. We're born into the world, we grow up, and we know that mum and dad, they have a bank, the money goes in there, and we have savings or whatever, different accounts, and it's always a part of human society, part of our lives, every single person almost around the world. So I don't know anything else that we could bring out about the centralization. I mean, it's a deep topic.
It's a deep topic, but it's worth noting to note that it has its advantages because as we said, decentralized finance, it has humans at its core because humans, they make laws to make sure that everything goes according to those laws, and they try to regulate the market as much as possible. And I mean, and then also because it's a very old system, and then the system also has evolved to make sure that everything has been improved. Because it's a very old system, everything has been improved over decades, even centuries. So it has its advantages. But
when you say old system, you think the new generation now, many that I've spoken to, some of my students say it's too archaic. It's in the next 10, 20 years, 2-3 decades, it's going to go out of existence. What do you think? Do you think the banking system, the banks will fade away in time and that invention will just disappear?
Fading away, I think that's a big and bold statement. I don't think that the banking system as we know it will fade away anytime soon. But I would say that we kind of have seen the limit of the system, or at least the system needs to evolve in a better way, in a way that is also in line with the technology as we know it today. It's true. No, the banking system has evolved, but sometimes it's kind of a little bit slow to follow the pace of other things. So faster transactions, with humans making laws, but sometimes how long does it take before making those laws? And how long do those laws wait before they are applied by different institutions? So we kind of have seen also the limit of this system, of this banking system or decentralized finance, as we know it. And also, if you say that there is one man in the middle or an authority in the middle, it also become kind of a single point of failure.
Yeah, no, it's interesting going into that topic. I mean, we could spend so many hours just talking about that, but yeah, the banking system obviously is not going to just disappear, and innovation is a big thing, and so a lot of people now are questioning: do banks start looking at cryptocurrencies?
I guess some of them do. Yeah.
So, and that's another reason why we're doing this podcast, is talk about crypto. And the new generation and the generations that will follow, they get more and more are going to go into crypto. And so that leads on to the next part about decentralization. So obviously blockchain, crypto started with Bitcoin back in 2009. The white paper, I think, was like officially end of 2008 or whatever. 2009, Bitcoin comes, decentralization. So what is the difference? What is decentralization?
I guess we can also remember those people watching this video that we also started talking about this discussion in earlier of our videos. So maybe you haven't watched them, maybe you can just try and watch those videos. So we try to talk about how Bitcoin, how it started. So just to answer your question about what is decentralization, as we said, centralization is the fact that there is an authority that is trying to govern how people interact between themselves as long as money is involved. But now, decentralization is people having this power themselves. And instead of having to rely upon a system where money has to go through someone or through an institution. Now people, they want to be able to do those transactions by themselves. Obviously, there always need to be laws that governs how these transactions are made. But these laws now, they can be a little bit not done by humans, so to speak, but they could be done by, this is where our cryptocurrency come, by transactions where these transactions are validated by only computers.
Yeah. It's basically removing, in a nutshell, it's basically removing the third party from the situation. And for example, we have Bitcoin each. Instead of going through a bank, it's peer to peer.
You can have peer-to-peer transactions.
And how fast is the transaction?
As fast as all online chat messages are.
Yeah, so within a few seconds, a few minutes, but then we go back to the centralized things. Sometimes they take 2 to 5 working days. So in terms of speed,
I guess we can't even compare.
No, so decentralized finance is basically using like emerging technologies to remove third party, that middleman, so to speak, like you just said. So,
and also good that we remember ourselves how 2008, 2009, play around in really accelerating this trend of these cryptocurrencies. It was because this traditional centralized finance was crashing. We had this crisis in the US that after had its consequences on almost the whole world. And then people said, okay, wait a minute. If that situation is happening, maybe we need to change the way we think about these finance. And that's how people, they went about, and then they thought about, well, I won't say that this is the start, but at least it was the momentum that people were needing to really accelerate the cryptocurrencies.
Yeah, because at that point, I think a lot of people were fed up with what was going on with the banks, the banking system. Every time there was a massive financial crisis, going back even decades before that, this was like the straw that broke the camel's back, so to speak. They were sick and tired of it, and I mean, the banks were bailed out every time. So got to the point where, okay, Bitcoin was created, decentralization was created, or decentralized, the word decentralized has always been there, but just this fact that you can own your own wealth, or in this case, Bitcoin, and that you don't have it in a bank.
Yeah, it's good to remember the history of all of these things, because it helps to really understand what cryptocurrencies, crypto assets, what they are at the first place, and obviously evolve to be something more greater than just that. This idea of centralized finance versus something that is completely decentralized, it appeals to people. It appeals to us as well. But I guess now, there is still this question of, if crypto as more as decentralized as we think they are. I mean, you just explained that, crypto, they are, people can have peer-to-peer transactions because these transactions are validated by computers. It's as fast as we can think about online messaging is. But at the end of the day, there is also this idea of, are they as decentralized as we want them to be?
Yeah, I understand. Yeah. And for our viewers, you have to keep in mind that decentralized finance it can still be subject to theft, and I mean you still need security, but it doesn't mean that you're out of the woods, so to speak, in that aspect. There's still a possibility of, but I think we're going to talk about that in the next episode.
Yeah. We consider security with cryptocurrencies.
Yeah, like programs and exchanges that have become sloppy over the last. We just think of FTX as an example. We could talk about that as well in the next episode, but that's for a later episode. So it brings us to the next point. So we've spoken about centralization, decentralization, and how cryptocurrency brings about decentralization in the world of finance. But is it truly decentralized?
Wow, I mean, it's an interesting question because I guess everyone interested in this topic, that's something they also need to have in the back of mind. Is cryptocurrencies as decentralized as people think they are? Well, cryptocurrencies are still subjected to government laws.
Except Bitcoin.
Except Bitcoin. But again, maybe Bitcoin directly isn't subjected to government laws, but how will you get Bitcoin? It will be through exchanges. And then those exchanges, they are subjected to government laws. For instance, here in France, there are some of the exchanges that are not accepted.
Unless you mine Bitcoin.
And unless you mine Bitcoin or you have it on your own ledger. But again, no, that's another topic too. We can consider it when we talk about the security implication of all those means to keep cryptocurrencies. But the point is, we are still subjected to government laws the same way we are subjected to government laws when it comes to a centralized finance. And then we said earlier that this could be a point of failure, a single point of failure, depending on how fast or how slow these actors they take to make laws that to really help all the people that are using those systems. So there is this one that there are government official laws that regulate also how these cryptocurrencies they work. But then what else make me think that these cryptocurrencies are not as decentralized as they are? Well, maybe if you think about maybe Ethereum. No, Ethereum, they could be sued. Those cryptocurrencies could be sued. It's what happened, for instance, to XRP. I guess XRP was the fourth of the cryptocurrency or third. I can't remember exactly.
Last cycle.
Yeah, before they were brought to court about if it was an utility coin or not an utility coin.
And because of that, we didn't have a XRP rally the last time.
And I felt like even till today, XRP hasn't gone to the
potential.
Yeah, to that it had. So yeah, so that's some of the argument that you have to say that those cryptocurrencies they are not as completely decentralized as you may think they are.
But the most decentralized is Bitcoin. I think nobody can argue with that because nobody owns it. So yes, a government or a country can ban Bitcoin, but you can't get rid of it.
Who will still have it? Who will still mine it somewhere?
Exactly. So in terms of what is really decentralized or safe crypto asset, then but I'm not a Bitcoin maximalist, but the truth is Bitcoin is the king of crypto. It was built because of what we just spoke about in the past. But then you look at others, and then other people will say, "Oh, but Ethereum it's safe," but nothing is really safe. I mean, Ethereum, like you said, is an institution, technology, people are behind it. America could just say over there, okay, this is out, this stops, blah blah blah. People are taken out of their jobs or whatever. So, and then it could get bad for Ethereum. So, of course, I'm not saying Ethereum is going to. For me, I think Ethereum
is as secure as Bitcoin.
But the technology, everything is fantastic. It's one of my biggest holdings with Ethereum and Bitcoin. I mean, I wouldn't even call Ethereum as an altcoin anymore. It's branched away from the status of altcoin. But it's just a little niggle in the back of my head that everything except Bitcoin, there's something could happen, government could ban it or whatever. Look at what happened with FTX. Nobody saw that coming. Don't think anybody saw what was going to come with FTX, this exchange with Sam Bankman-Fried. It was in the top 10. And then all of a sudden, overnight, things happen. So you still have to be careful.
Yeah, you still have to be careful. Again, that's why we say that nothing we see on this channel is financial advice. No, we just talk. We're just having random conversation. That's the conversation that we can just have with people, and friends, because we feel that this conversation that we can have in the day-to-day day-to-day activities.
And that's something else as well. It's the same with keeping your crypto. You've probably heard this saying before: "Not your keys, not your crypto." I don't know if you've heard that before.
I guess I've heard something like that.
Maybe you have our subscribers or viewers, not your keys. And what does that mean? Basically, exchanges are good to buy crypto, but exchanges like Binance, Coinbase, all of them are centralized exchanges.
And if they crash?
So that leads to the question, what is really decentralized? And so if you have your crypto, when they say not your keys, not your crypto, the best thing to do is have a ledger, a hardware wallet. Do some research on which ledgers. I know Nano Ledger, they had problems last year, something about the back door or whatever. You'll have to do your research, but the ledger is one of the probably 99% safer than an exchange. Exchanges are good. Binance, Coinbase probably are the top two. Then you've got like Kraken and others, but
they remain
centralized.
Yeah, they remain centralized. Yeah.
So they're always remaining centralized. They have rules, regulations. If a government official wants to see exactly what you have, they have to basically give them the data, the information about you as an individual, if you're paying your taxes or whatever. So be careful with exchanges. I mean, if you have exchanges, fine. I have Coinbase, Binance, and many exchanges, but maybe don't just have all your eggs in one basket. Maybe diversify. But the most important is having a hardware wallet so that you keep your Bitcoin
sure that you have
safe. The only way you can lose it is if you lose your password, your seed phrase, or you make a mistake. So it's on you. And I made that mistake before when I lost not much, but a few $100 because I've put the wrong address.
Well, it could still happen that that the hardware also gets corrupted. It's a different topic.
Yeah, that's why I said 99%, because it's still that 1%. So, I mean, if you go back to the traditional way, you'd have all your codes on a piece of paper. That's how it was with Bitcoin before. So, if you want to play it really safe, then you just have it on a piece of paper. But who does that?
Yeah, nobody does that.
Sure. Yeah. Excellent. So I don't know if there's anything else to bring up.
Well, I guess we covered this topic very well. It was fun discussing again this topic about centralization finance and decentralization finance. But I guess it also be interesting to hear or to listen in the comment what people they have to say on this topic.
Yeah, for sure. So let us know in the comments section below about centralized, decentralized, what exchanges you trust. Obviously, you can't trust anything 100%, but let us know in the comments below which exchanges you prefer. We'll take a look at them. And I think that's about it. So leave a thumbs up, thumbs down. Remember to subscribe to both of our channels. The channels will be in the description below. So thanks, guys and girls, for watching. We will see you for episode 4 next time. So get ready for that in a couple of weeks for that next episode. So again, thank you, Edo.
Thank you,
everybody.
Yeah.
And see you next time.
See you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.